Welcome back to the Millionaire Real Estate Agent Blueprint with Nathan Najib. We've spoken about three components: skill set, mindset, and system. Today I want to double click once again on how to build this mindset or emotional fitness, if you will. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, subscribe to our channel below and you'll get notifications soon as videos appear. So coming back to the mindset success is 80% psychology and 20% mechanics. And mindset, I believe, is 80% of becoming a successful real estate agent, because if you've got, as we said, if you've got the mindset, you'll find a way how to do things. So these are few things that I have, 4 or 5 things that I have to help me build my mindset every single day, and also the emotional fitness, of course. One of the things that I suggest every person should do is do one thing at least a day that scares you. Waking up early, you can start off with that. Waking up early, cold showers or cold plunge, I think that is fantastic, because when you're in a warm shower, you're turning the knob to a cold. It's just, it tells your mind that who is in charge. It's the mind, not the mind. It's actually you that's in charge, because as the saying goes, the mind is a great servant but an awful master, right? So teaching the mind that you're in control is an important thing. And it comes back to when it comes to prospecting. Yes, I hear you. So being a salesperson, prospecting is a hard thing to do, yeah? But if you've already woke up early, you've done your cold shower, you've done your exercises, one of the other things I suggest is exercising, and then mindfulness or meditation is the reason I suggest meditation is not just to calm your mind down, so you're not everything isn't just like happening. You just can't close yourself from the outside world and bring your mind inside. The reason behind that is to just tell your mind that, hey, now we're sitting down, we're going to sit down for 20 minutes. Remember, the mind will be like, oh, let's go and grab a coffee now. It's coffee time now. What the hell are you doing meditating, right? What the hell are you doing sitting still? Or it's having a cold, you got to go and have a shower now, right? It's a shower time. But no, you tell your mind, just come back and sit still. I'll tell you when to go, because I'm in charge here, right? And then obviously, how to build emotional toughness. There's a few things that I'm suggesting. First thing is obviously study mindfulness. The importance of how you can be in charge of your mind rather than the mind trying to run you. Just like meditation, stillness, all those kind of things, like reading books about mindfulness. Stoicism is a great thing to study as well, philosophy, if you will, and that teaches you about life is not just built from out of rainbows and sunshine. There's always going to be hard times. So how do we navigate through that? So philosophy teaches you about that, or Stoicism. And then study human mind. I think studying the human mind is so important. We've got this most complex and most amazing system or a computer, but most of us don't know how to operate it, right? So studying that instruction manual, so you know how to run this thing called the mind, right? Because as I said, it could be an amazing servant, but an awful master. And just how the human mind operates. It's always like, that's the human nature. Like, what's next and what's next and what's next, right? How do you be content with what you have, and of course strive for more? The other thing is mortality. I think it's important to be familiar with inevitable thing or death, right? It's inevitable. We know we're going to die, right? But most people are so unaware of it. It's not in their mind all the time. I think it's important to know, what, we're all gonna die. We came with nothing. We're gonna go with nothing. One of the rituals that I do is I do a graveyard walk every month, and then the reason I do that is not because I enjoy walking through graveyard. No, it's just a reminder that that's where we're going to end up, right? So if you were just trying and chasing, you're blind to death. Then obviously this all you're interested in is like accumulating. And I mean, I've got nothing with accumulation, but when we've got this thing in mind called death, we are very careful when we're sitting down with somebody, when we're more present. I suggest it's not all about us. And I think once the game of life turns to what we can do for others, then of course everything just unfolds so beautifully. And I think it's important to keep that mortality in mind, right? And then the different, obviously, you got to choose between happiness versus pleasure, okay? And having the long-term mentality of happiness, like, if you're doing something, are we after chasing stuff to get quick pleasure, or are we looking for long-term happiness? For example, a pleasure today, I can give you an example. This morning, actually, I wake up early every morning. The bed was so warm, and it was like it was cold, raining and snowing outside, right? And it was so tempting to just stay in bed for another half an hour. Like short temptation of pleasure at the time, or long-term happiness. So no, I said, let's get up, and now I feel good. I'm gonna feel good for the rest of the day, right? Do you know what I mean by long-term happiness as opposed to short-term pleasure? For example, you want to go out on a Friday night, but you got work tomorrow morning, so you can choose to go out for a quick pleasure for a Friday night or Saturday night, or choose to not go out and have a long-term happiness or work rather than going out. Once in a while, there's nothing wrong with it, of course, but doing it every week, having this quick dopamine, a quick pleasure is not an ideal thing to do, I suggest. And then the other thing is brainwash yourself, like recondition your brain, remove the labels that's been attached to you. Like, we're all born with these things, like, you are from a this type of side of town, or you're Christian, or you're whatever may be those labels that's been given to us when we are born, right? What I'm suggesting to recondition just you are just a human being, and what you can do, you can do anything that anybody else has done. No, but labeling, like, get rid of this thing, like reconditioning. Now, that's hard work. I make it sound so easy, yes, but it's hard work. I appreciate that. But looking into how to recondition your brain, or brainwash yourself, if you will. And then, of course, the quick temptation versus long-term happiness, right? Joy, pleasure, quick pleasure now, as opposed to long-term happiness, right? So choose those things. I think these few things that I've suggested there to do. Now, if you keep on doing that every day and all day, and be mindful of everything that you do, I almost guarantee that you'll be successful long term. If you want to subscribe to our channel, you should subscribe to our channel below here. And thank you for watching, and all the best.